You know, God actually set Sunday aside to be a day of rest. He did. It says so in the Bible. But there was no rest for me ever. Today has been the busiest day I've ever had in a very long time. I was up at 6, 7 a.m. dealing with idiots all day. Business, work, meetings, Zoom calls. So I'm still in my suit. I didn't have to get dressed necessarily for this cigar night. I'll actually confess to a little secret. I'm sick today. My apologies. My voice is gone. If I have a extremely busy day, and as I decide to sit down and talk to my friends live on Rumble, sometimes I am wearing sweatpants underneath my shirt and my jacket. But you know, I've had a legitimately busy day when I'm fully suited up for the cigar meeting, alligator shoes and everything, just like I was on a date or a business conference or a business meeting because I've been out all day. Is it Saturday? Oh, no. Saturday was the original day of West. Yes, I know, and the Seventh-day Adventists and other Christian sects do on Saturday. Look, don't correct me, chat, on my own cigar night. This is my podcast. I'm the boss. I say Sunday's the day of rest, and that's the way it is. Depends what church you're a member of. I know. I don't care. God rested on the seventh day. I start my calendar, my week, on a Monday. Today is Sunday. That makes it the seventh day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See how smart I am? I can count. So we all know how these work. This one is actually completely unplanned because I've had nothing in terms of time today to prepare this. There's only 1 or 2 questions that I know are going to come up, so I'll speak a little bit on those topics. And besides that, I'm relying on you, members of the chat, to make this cigar evening interesting. Obviously, you can ask any questions you like. Some questions I know more about than others. I get asked some very random things about things that I don't even have an opinion on, and I form opinions on them sometimes right off the cuff, which end up getting me in trouble. But it's fun nonetheless. So if you know how cigar nights work, I light a cigar, and then I sit here smoking it, and then I answer your questions, and when I'm finished smoking the cigar, I'll usually hang up. Now, the problem is, I am extremely sick. So I'm probably not going to enjoy this cigar as much as I should. It's a Cohiba Behiki 54. That's about 750 euros, about $1,000 in any good cigar shop in the world. So I'm smoking my most flavorful cigars while I'm sick, so I can actually enjoy it a little bit. I'm actually going to stop talking about cigars one of these days. One of these days on these cigar nights, I'm going to stop talking about cigars because all of my favorite cigars I've smoked many times already on these cigar evenings and on the emergency meetings with Andrew. So what I might start doing is talking about my lighters, because my lighter collection, as you know, is sick. And all of my lighters are ST DuPont lighters, 99% of them. And they're the best lighter company in the world. So I'm going to start discussing my lighters after I get done with cigars. But I'm going to smoke my most flavorful cigar today, Cohiba Behiki 54. Look them up, see how much they cost. If you can get hold of one, I highly recommend it. But like many things in life that are excellent, they are very different, whether it be a super unbelievably beautiful woman or a rare limited edition sports car. These are very hard to get hold of. So even if you do have the budgets that can afford them, finding a cigar shop that has a good supply of them well stored and in stock is incredibly difficult. So, super chats. Okay, good. So I'm going to light this up, and then we're going to continue with our evening. Every single time I'm online, there's a super chat, and I'm going to thank him for the funds. That's going to go to Tate Pledge, Top G Netherlands. He always says, since you lived in the Netherlands for years, can you say a few words in Dutch and plug this page, this Telegram or Instagram page? I don't know what kind of page it is. No, I don't speak any Dutch. So I'm actually going to save you the trouble of asking me that for a second or third or fourth time. I never learned a single word in Dutch, ever. Very good question from Chiefs Branding. Chiefs Brandon, are dating apps worth it? I'm going to explain in a moment. I will actually write that one down because that's a very good one. Are dating apps worth it? See, zero preparation All I've got is a cigar ready. And I didn't even choose this cigar for the cigar meeting. I literally have my handmade black alligator skin cigar case with me, straight out the car, straight into the podcast studio. I open it up to see what I've got. And obviously I have some of the world's finest cigars in it. Because I'm Tristan Tate, and I always do. You see that though, how it goes from yellow flame to blue flame. Let me show you. Check this, look. Yellow flame, blue flame. Yellow flame, blue flame. Man, my lighters are cooler than my cigars. Ooh, very strong, and I am sick. So I'm going to cure myself with a nice sip of Red Bull. Everyone knows when you're sick, Red Bull is the way, the light, and the truth, and cures all ailments. Beautiful. Right. First thing I'm going to talk about before I get to the super chats, which were actually pretty good, and they are coming in fast and strong, is I saw a movie recently that I really liked. And I have a solution to any man in Hollywood who's trying to turn a book into a movie. A movie came out, and I was bored one night, didn't know what to do, feeling sick, like I said, couldn't go out on the town, couldn't go see people. So I decided to watch a movie, and the movie was called The Last Voyage of the Demeter. It was about Dracula killing a bunch of people on a boat. And fuck the movie, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I'm going to talk about why I liked the concept of it so much and what Hollywood should do to fix all of these bad plots I keep coming up with. When you try to turn a book that's very, very long and complicated and good into a movie, you can't fit enough into a 2-hour screen time to do the book any justice. Whereas The Last Voyage of the Demeter, if anyone who's read the novel Dracula by Bram Stoker knows, is one chapter of that book. And I think that was very, very smart. They took a single chapter of that book, Dracula's voyage from Bulgaria, after coming through Transylvania, to England via boat. They took that voyage and they turned that itself into a movie. So though it's only one chapter in a book, it made a very good 2-hour movie. I wouldn't say very good, but I'd certainly give it 8 out of 10. No real big names, no real big actors, but I feel like if you're going to make a movie about the Three Musketeers or James Bond or the Count of Monte Cristo or any of my favorite fictional books, you're better off making a 3-part series, essentially, where each movie is just a few chapters. Because it really did miss almost no details of the book out, but one chapter into an entire series, one chapter into an entire movie. It was very, very smart. So I am going to answer a question that keeps coming through. Where is Luke? I understand it's weird for you, my fans and friends, who have watched Tate Confidential on Rumble for all these years and see me always with Andrew's cousin Luke, to wonder where he is. Because since being arrested, no one has seen him. I don't like people being able to vicariously attack family members and people who aren't me if they're trying to attack me. I mean, some people say that I got attacked because I'm Andrew's brother. That's fine. I am Andrew's brother. Some people would say that friends of mine got attacked because they are my personal assistant or friends of mine, which is absolutely true. Most people those I'm allowed to speak to and those who I'm not allowed to speak to still, who I dealt with and I was very close to, are keeping a healthy distance, essentially at my instruction, because I do not wish any of this Matrix attack to trickle down and harm anyone else. So the last thing I want is Luke to, I don't know, be here, fucking have the police come in and shoot him because he's Andrew's cousin and he's darker than me. I don't actually believe the police randomly shoot dark people, by the way, especially not in Romania. That's a joke. But yeah, you'll be seeing much more of Luke once I defeat and beat this Matrix attack. Luke is alive. Luke isn't dead. This isn't a conspiracy. Luke is fine. As far as I know. As far as I know. So I've had some very strange accusations coming through to me on the internet recently. There's a lot of idiots who talk about, conspiracies of, certain religious groups controlling and running the world, etc. And because I don't buy into these stupid, delusional conspiracy theories, I was called a Zionist for the longest time. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is about how my opinions are not bought and paid for, how I say the things I think, and how I fear upsetting nobody. The moment you don't play along with the narrative that people who dislike you want you to go along with, they're happy to call you crazy and violent and stupid names. Retards, and when I mean retards, I mean the super, super far right, black people suck, white people are great, Reddit kind of crowd of people. We all know who I'm talking about. Were kept calling me a Zionist shill and a Jewish shill because I have Jewish friends, just as I have Muslim and Christian friends, because I don't share in their delusions, because I won't discuss their delusions or platform them. And I found this very funny up until recently. I was never going to mention it. Up until very recently, because after the events of October 7th, when I've made it very clear that I don't like what the Zionist state of Israel is doing to the Palestinian people, suddenly all these people who were calling me a Zionist are backtracking and saying, oh my God, wow, Tristan actually just talks about the things he talks about and isn't bought and paid for by anybody. If one day you're being called a Zionist and one day you're being called a terrorist sympathizer, that means both sides of super far retards dislike you, which means you have a good balanced mind view on everything. So obviously the situation in the Middle East is terrible, and I'm probably going to touch on it a little bit more because a lot of people are asking me a bunch of very detailed questions about it. In fact, I may as well go into it a little bit now. Everyone's asking me, Tristan Tate, who's right, who's wrong? Look, anybody who commits an act of terror to an elderly person or a child or a woman or an innocent is wrong. You can completely sympathize with the Palestinian people, as I do, but also condemn certain actions taken by Hamas who do not represent every single Palestinian. And then you can, be pro the state of Israel and believe Israel's historical claims to the land, if you like, without condemning what they do the moment they're attacked in terms of leveling city blocks, flattening city blocks, killing thousands of women and kids and innocents, which again is terrorism. But I feel like the situation now is not very much different than the situation in 2014, 2009, 1996. It's really quite similar. The only thing that's changed is that platforms like Rumble and platforms like X exist so people can show what's happening to the people of Palestine. I feel like when this used to happen before, PR was controlled by the mainstream media, and it was a very, very easy thing to do to paint one side as a terrorist and one side as somebody trying to defend their homes. I feel like legacy media is dead. I feel like the future of the media is platforms like X with its community notes feature, platforms like Rumble, where people can actually put both sides of the story out. And that everyone seems to have a very different take this time around. But what is vastly different? Nothing. Just the fact that people can speak about it. What I would say is, the two UFC fighters who fought yesterday, Islam and Khamzat, God bless them for using their platform and using their victory to speak not first and foremost about themselves and their win and their camps, using their platform when the whole world was looking at them to speak about the plight of the people in Palestine who are suffering. Good for them. I certainly agree with a lot of their sentiments. I would say that weak American leadership is certainly a factor in this. I feel like if we had strong American leadership, we could stop the killing, which is the most important thing. But I would also say to anybody who falls on either side of this debate in a very strong way, by which I mean the Zionists who want to exterminate the Palestinians and the Palestinians who want to completely exterminate and expel the Israelis, I would say to anyone who is on the extremes of this debate that extremes are not going to solve this problem peacefully. extremes are only ever going to lead to genocide, and they're only ever going to lead to death, and they're only going to lead to people dying. I feel as though a lot of people, for some reason, because they respect my opinions on lots of things, reach out to me for some sort of proposed solution in the Middle East, and I don't have a solution. You know, that area of the world has been at war for 1,400 years and counting. There has never been peace there. People have been spilling each other's blood and killing each other to try to occupy and hold that land away from the other religions. All religions involved, all parties involved are religious parties. They all think they have God on their side. And I would say that I do not have a solution to the problem. I know a lot of you look up to me and respect me, but I don't think most people in the world, including most politicians, including Hamas and Netanyahu, have a solution to this that is going to work. I feel like there are people within both states that will never agree to the original 1947 borders, which sounds like a very reasonable solution that people, put out there. This is not my idea, by the way. This is not my idea. But I saw someone, I guess, made me laugh. He was making light of the situation. He said, you know what? Why don't the Christians take it back and let the Muslims and Jews visit as much as they like and everyone live in peace? I found that a very novelty, amusing joke on the subject, as much as the Middle East conflict and the instability there is incredibly sad. I don't know what the solution is, you guys. I personally want the killing to stop. I want no innocents to be harmed. I know that in terms of the children and the women who are suffering, far more of those are in Gaza than are in the state of Israel, which is why I personally put my money there, and I personally feed people on the ground, try to supply water, which is very difficult, try to supply education, which is now becoming impossible. That's why the majority of my money goes to Gaza. Just to make myself very clear, and this may upset some people, and I don't care who it upsets. If there were a humanitarian crisis in Israel, let's say an earthquake struck it and, rocked Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and the cities crumbled. If there were a humanitarian crisis in Israel and Israeli children and women were suffering and hungry and cold and starving, you would also find Tristan Tate's money and Tristan Tate's charity doing work over there. It is not a charity that is biased towards any particular religion or ethnic or racial group. My charity, Tate Pledge, is biased towards innocents, women and kids, people who can't afford food, people who can't get an education. And if there were some humanitarian crisis in Israel, right now, there isn't, in terms of mass numbers of women and kids starving and being hungry. That's not the case. Israel has plenty of money and plenty of resources, which is why I am supplying Gaza. But if something bad did happen, you would find my money there also. And I don't care who that upsets. That's the kind of person I am. And, any image of kids starving, dying, being bombed is absolutely heartbreaking. And I just hope that there is a solution, but I can't propose one myself. But whatever makes the killing stop would make me happy. So that's my opinion on the Middle East. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I'm getting all sorts of horrible questions. Why do you hate Jews? Why are you a terrorist sympathizer? Why even write like this? In fact, I actually answered this on my Twitter. I'm going to speak about it for a few more seconds, actually. I spoke about this on my Twitter. Someone said, why do you hate Jews? Because he saw that I was donating money to Palestinian kids. And I was like, what do you mean, why do I hate Jews? What an incredibly stupid question. When the example I gave him was when Libya, under Colonel Gaddafi, who was a great leader in my opinion, very great leader, was being bombed by U.S. armed forces, I condemned the actions of the Obama regime administration. But I'll say regime. The Obama regime was dropping bombs on Libya, and I spoke out against the Obama regime on my Twitter, saying this shouldn't be happening. You shouldn't be bombing Libya. This is horrible. What a stupid decision. Nobody asked me, Tristan, why do you hate Americans? See, you can condemn the actions of a government. You can condemn the actions of a state without blanket hating everybody who lives inside of that state, or everybody who agrees with the actions of that state, or everybody who subscribes to the same religion as the main religion of that state. You can do that. That's completely possible. Hamas have done some unspeakable things, and people always keep telling me, "Oh, you never condemn Hamas." Yes, when I see evidence and proof that Hamas have done something detestable, I will say it and I will call it out and I will condemn it. But that is not to condemn all of the people living in Palestine, 53% of which are children. 53% of the people living in Palestine, or was it 47? It's close to half and half are children. Goes to show something about the life expectancy in the open air prison. God bless them. I'll be praying for them. And I'm always on the side of peace as opposed to the side of war, which is why the Matrix and the establishment, who profit so heavily from these things, would love me to shut up. So one of the super chats asked about dating apps and if they're worth it. Now, this is the kind of question I used to get years ago. So a smile is coming to my face, a smile of nostalgia. Because when I was much younger, when I started out on the internet probably 9 years ago, I spoke a lot about dating. I was newly a millionaire. I was running around trying to sleep with a bunch of beautiful women. I was in my 20s. I was a lot more immature. I was a lot younger. And sometimes the things that I say come back to haunt me because I'm a 35-year-old man now. I'm a father. I'm smarter. I'm far more mature and, and emotionally intelligent than I've ever been. So sometimes when I see 26-year-old Tristan in a video being like, yeah, I sleep with loads of girls. I sleep with, I don't know, bragging about how many women he gets. I just think, bro, come on. I'm not as cool as I thought I was at the time, but I was 26, give me a break. So this is very much the type of question I used to get when I spoke about dating. And I've actually been off dating apps for many years now. I don't use dating apps. I would imagine I'm banned from them. I would imagine. I don't really know. Certainly banned from Instagram. But are dating apps worth it? I'm going to touch on this a tiny bit because it's just a very interesting question. And there's lots of young men out there who are using these programs. And I'd like to give advice, I guess, to everybody, men and women who use dating apps. I would say that dating apps are fine depending on how you're living. If you're a young man, you're concentrating on your business, you're trying to get your money right, you're working maybe inside the real world with the professors, trying to build up a company, trying to build up your skill set, dating apps are fine for meeting people. I think that you don't have to have so many great expectations when interacting with the other sex. I feel like people download dating apps because they're looking for results. But, sleeping with someone isn't the result that you think it is. You can go out and have a nice dinner with somebody, have a nice coffee with somebody. Nothing comes of it. Fine. You don't have to end up in bed with this person. But you've spent your evening in a entertaining and interesting manner. So dating apps are perfectly fine for playing the field and meeting people. But what I would say is I don't feel the best of the best people are on dating apps. I feel like if you're a woman and you want a good, God-fearing man who's a billionaire and is 6'4", he probably isn't on dating apps because he doesn't need to be. And I feel like if you're a man and you want a very traditionally minded, sweet 21-year-old woman, maybe from a good Muslim or Christian family, she won't be on dating apps either. So they're more for normies. And if you just want to hang out with some normies in your spare time, feel free to download dating apps and mess around with them as much as you like. I don't think, unless you are a normie, that you're going to find marriage material on dating apps. If you find yourself on dating apps and you think the people there are absolutely great and wonderful and you're having loads of success, maybe that's a sign that you are just a normie yourself because these people are at your level. I've fucked around on dating apps. I've met people from dating apps. With a few exceptions, of course. I've met some wonderful people. But generally, the top of the top people, the creme de la creme, don't spend their time messing around on fucking Bumble. Like, that's not what they do. And while I'm actually on the topic, if you see me on any dating app, because I am Mr. Catfish, people love using my photos to catfish people, do not engage and do not send that person naked pictures and shit, because there are kids in Romania using my pictures to swipe girls on dating apps and to try to get them to send naked pictures. Yeah, thanks if you're fans of mine. That really fucking helps right now. Fucking retarded. But yeah, I am on every single dating app in every single country, I believe. I don't know why I don't know what it is about my pictures. Maybe it's the jets and the supercars, but I'm a very popular catfish photo target. Hey, Tristan, you recently said that Alex Jones is a superhero. Why is Alex Jones a superhero? He lied about X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even going to say. I'm not even going to bring it up on my podcast. What I would say, actually, first and foremost, about any accusations that Alex Jones told mistruths or lied, Alex Jones has been wrong before. And what you have to understand is a very good way to bring a man like Alex Jones down would be to feed him information that you know is false and then to sue him when he says it's false. I feel like a lot of people wanted to see Alex Jones fall from his place. And I don't know where he got some of the information from that he got. But the meme Alex Jones was right exists for a reason. Alex Jones is largely correct. I'm wrong. I've been wrong about lots of things in my life. So to take one man's decision, myself, for example, 7 years ago, when I said, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God. Nah, it's not for me. And to say, Tristan was wrong about that, so let's throw the baby out with the bathwater, would be very stupid. And I don't care what you think Alex Jones was wrong about. Alex Jones is a hero. He's a superhero because he embodies, to me, all of the elements of what a superhero is. Indomitable spirit being first and foremost. Alex Jones has been the most canceled man in world history. More canceled than me, more canceled than Andrew. Alex Jones was the original guy to get fucking canceled. He did not give up. They could not get rid of this guy. He's back in the mainstream. I mean, just a few years ago, he was back on Joe Rogan podcast. There are videos of him now all over X. Those aren't being deleted. There are videos of him being all over Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. He's been so forefront of the fight against globalism and evil and tyranny for so many years that no matter how hard you've tried to get rid of this man, I think that truth will always have a platform that sustains itself. And he is largely correct about absolutely everything. I mean, 15 years ago, and I was just a kid, I knew who Alex Jones was, of course. I used to watch the clips. I think was it a radio show originally before it came on the internet? But anyway, I knew who Alex Jones was 15 years ago. I'm going to do my Alex Jones impression. He would say things that sounded wild, things that sounded crazy. Well, the people in charge of this country are satanic pedophiles who go to islands and have sex with children. And people would laugh at him and turn him off and be like, this guy, he's crazy. He's insane. Of course, he's wild. He's out there. He's smoking something. He doesn't sound so crazy now, does he? He doesn't. I feel like he just knew before we knew. So the meme Alex Jones was right exists for a reason. And I will say that, I did say he was a superhero on X, and he's one of the few people that's still banned on that platform. Hopefully, the great Elon Musk rectifies that situation. I know they may have some personal beef or something, but I would like to see Alex Jones back on X. But I did tweet just randomly that Alex Jones is a superhero because I was watching InfoWars, and I decided that he's just a fucking superhero, and he is. Let me tell you how to change the world, ladies and gentlemen. I know here I am on Rumble, but I'm gonna plug another man's show. You know what I like to watch when I'm not scrolling Rumble? I don't scroll the other platforms. They're run by Satan. They don't believe in free speech. If I want something interesting to watch, there's always enough on Rumble. Scroll Rumble instead of the other platforms. But when I'm chilling, maybe on a beautiful day, I've got a 10 out of 10. Maybe she's Russian. She doesn't speak very good English. Let me tell you a good game for a first date that will guarantee that you have a wonderful evening. It's called InfoWars and Chill. So you don't put on Netflix. You don't put on Amazon Prime or Hulu or Disney Plus or any of this dumb shit run by Satan himself. What you do is you put on InfoWars and you chill with a drink. So maybe it's whiskey, maybe it's vodka, maybe it's glasses of wine if you're not really into hard drinking. And what you do is every time he says the word globalist, you take a shot or a big drink of your wine. I was playing InfoWars and Chill here at the house with the boys the other night. It was me, my cameraman, my brother, put on some InfoWars, learn a thing or two. And we were playing InfoWars and Chill. Andrew doesn't drink. But very fun game. And I highly recommend anyone, when you're free and you're trying to get some knowledge in your brain, maybe be entertained at the same time, to watch Alex Jones. So yeah, I did say he's a superhero. Hey Tristan, did you watch the UFC fights? What do you think of the UFC fights? Man, I mean, I don't follow fight sports as closely as you think someone like me should. But all I could say is maximum respect to Islam and Hazmat for using their platform after their wins. That was very cool to watch. Islam's fight was very good. I mean, very fast knockout. The fight was on short notice. Yeah, I mean, UFC is always entertaining. Dana White is probably one of the smartest and most successful and most American CEOs, I guess, there is in the world right now. I mean, he embodies the spirit of, I guess, the what's left good about the American spirit. And actually commented, this is a part of the fight that you maybe didn't see. It was the Johnny Walker fight when they were arguing and, you know, shouting words at each other back and forth after the no contest was called. And Dana White walks into the cage. As soon as Dana's in there, everyone stops beefing. So I think he's a man that garners respect from basically everybody in the world besides super far left crazies. You know, I like a lot of what he does. So I'm a supporter of the UFC, I guess, because I like the CEO. There are a few fighters who I really like, of course, and I do tune in when they're fighting. Israel Adesanya probably being my favorite in the UFC right now. But yeah, Dana White is a G. So you got to watch UFC for that reason and that reason only. And I'm the kind of guy, I'm actually that vindictive enough. I'm that petty that if I enjoyed watching cage fighting, but the UFC was run by one of these cancel culture California lunatics, I would not watch it just out of principle. That's the kind of guy I am. If I didn't like the CEO, I wouldn't watch it. The things I boycott for the reasons I boycott them, you wouldn't believe. You would not believe the things I boycott and why. I'm not even going to go into that because you're all going to think I'm an absolute lunatic. But yeah, I won't go into that. I want to talk a little bit, and I can't Mr. Producer it. So I want everyone to go on my Twitter, Tate the Talisman. And Clown World is a very good page I usually like on X. Sorry, I said Twitter. Jesus Christ. X is a very good, Clown World is a page I really like on X. And I shared a clip, and a lot of people are coming at me. So I'm going to set the record straight now that I'm on my cigar night. A lot of you who follow me have probably seen this. It's a black dude with a microphone walking around Miami, and he's saying to a girl, "Hey, girl, what's the minimum a man should spend on the first date?" And she's like, "Well, I used all my products. I got ready. I did my makeup. I don't know, $200." And everyone's clowning this chick. And Clown World shared it. And I agree with 99% of what Clown World say. I think I follow them. They follow me. We share each other's stuff. But I actually don't think that woman did anything wrong. I don't think that woman said anything wrong. She's not grossly obese. She's not overtly ugly. She's not overtly unattractive. She seems like a relatively attractive woman. She doesn't seem outlandish or insane or wild in her ways. She's dressed very nicely. She's obviously put a lot of time into her preparation. You know, it's not so much about $200 being a set figure, but let me tell you something. Women deserve effort when you take them on dates. And when you take women places, they do deserve effort. Because as much as I look amazing tonight in my Savile Row tailored suit with my Rolex watch on, my alligator shoes, my thinning hair, but still average hair. Give myself average for hair. As good as I look, it took me about 4 minutes from getting out of the shower to get ready. Hair gel, shirt, jacket, pants, shoes, watch. Done. That's it. You know, men should always pay for dates. One, never 50-50. Because the man is always the one asking the woman out. You, as a young man going on a date, are trying to get a woman, usually, to give up the most sacred thing that she has. You, if you're going out to date on a woman, no matter how honest you are, you can be a good Christian man, in which case you're looking for more. You want her hand in marriage eventually. You want her to bear your children. That's what a first date is. It is an interview for the most important thing a woman could possibly give you. She is interviewing you, and you have asked for that opportunity. To think $200 is too much, and that's obscene and insane for a woman to want to go out on a date where maybe the dinner's kind of nice. She has a few glasses of wine. After the 3 hours she's put in getting ready, shaving her legs, all the shit that women do, the eyelash thing, I don't even know what it's called, the fucking contouring makeup, all the shit women go through. And all the attention they get to think, okay, this is the guy. I've picked him of all the men who have asked me, because that girl isn't bad looking. She probably gets asked all the time. He's going to take me out. And to think that he shouldn't be willing to spend $200 because that's insane, I think is stupid, personally. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think women have bought their values in their own way. When you're out in town and you're sitting with a 10 out of 10 beautiful woman, people stop and stare at you. Wow, fucking hell, Tristan Tate's a G. Who's that chick? Oh, who's this guy? Because his girl's a 10 out of 10. They're bringing value. Pay for the fucking dinner. And you could call me a simp if you want for saying that men should pay for dates. Yeah, men should pay for dates. I think women should change diapers. I think men should change tires. I'm not a simp. I'm just a bit old school. And you can call me a simp all you like. I mean, just good luck trying to fucking get women to go 50-50 on your Wendy's and your KFC and get them to drive you around and take you out on that. I mean, good luck with that. You're going to meet some low-value women. Very low-value women. I think any woman who has a bit of self-respect wouldn't put up with that, and you're going to end up unhappy. So call me a simp all you like, because I'm a very happy man. And some of the women I've met in my life are women that a lot of you guys calling me names could not dream to even look at a naked picture of. And I mean that. So fuck you. You're right, chat. She's lucky enough to come out in my Lada. She should pay. If I take the Lada, she should pay. All right, who said that? You're a genius, officially. And let me get through some of these super chats. CLY always. Tristan, your humanitarian work is truly Christ-like. You and your brother are helping many children, and the Lord sees it. I hope everyone donates to you guys here from San Diego. Thank you very much. I would not describe my humanitarian work as Christ-like because I'm not doing the work myself. I'm stuck inside of this city still. The situation is still ongoing. Everyone in the world knows that, a false accuser opened the door to an insane prosecutor who wants me in jail for his own career. Everyone knows this already. The whole world knows this. I'm just waiting for the legal system of Romania to catch up, but the judges keep making the right decision. They keep letting me out. They keep letting me more free. So, alhamdulillah, I'll be free soon. I wouldn't describe myself as Christ-like. I'm still stuck here, but I do donate a lot of money. I do donate a lot of money because it's, I don't know, it makes me feel good. I feel like if you're a man who can do something, then you have to do something. You can't be a man in my position and do nothing. And I've been like that for a very long time. I mean, the people who say, oh, well, since being out of jail, they're doing a lot of charity. No. Since being out of jail, a lot of people are looking at me now. And they're looking at what I'm doing. And they think the charity is a front. It's not. I mean, the videos of me driving to the Ukrainian border are way older than my stint in jail. The videos of me driving to the border of Ukraine were actually ironically done. One, because women and children were suffering, and two, because I wanted the world to see that Romania is a good country filled with good Christian people who are willing to help out those in need. And, I went up there myself because I'm a man who lives in Romania. I'm a representative of this country as a resident. And I thought I'd go up there and help out. I didn't expect certain Romanians, not Romania as a people, not Romania as a country, not TICO as an organization, not judges, not politicians, not Romania, certain people in Romania to do this to me. I think that was very sick of them, and God is the ultimate arbiter of justice, and he will see things happen the way they should. My brother is a millionaire like yourself. He has issues finding a girl who likes him for him and not his wallet. Do you have any advice, good sir? Yes, if that is true, Peter Evans 5, if that is true, one of two things are the case. and I mean this with all respect to your brother, I don't know him, remember, you're asking me about a man I don't know. Either one, he leads too much with his money. He's talking to girls he knows will like his money, saying, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, to get laid, and he falls in love with the wrong type of woman. Or two, maybe all he's got is money. I mean, is your brother a smart, tall, in shape, interesting, funny, rich guy? If he were, he'd find a lot of women who like him, irregardless of him having or spending money. Maybe your brother is a fat dude who streams and plays video games and has money, in which case he's only going to find women who want him for his status, his platform, and his money. I don't know, Peter Evans. I'd have to know much more about your brother. But he certainly needs to be working on the other aspects of himself that are not financial, and that will probably help him in the long run. And then don't lead with money. Don't talk to the girls who look like they are only interested in money. Don't talk to the girls who have no jobs but very expensive Hermes bags and photos on first-class flights and private jets. Don't speak to those girls. No, talk to a nice, normal girl. And if you are a nice, normal man underneath it all, you'll find a girl who truly likes you or truly loves you. I know every night, especially being in Romania, you sleep with one eye open, right? Because you're most definitely going against the grain, and as they say, basically asking if you're ready to die. I've slept with one eye open my entire life. It's the best answer I can give you. I've never not slept with one eye open. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I know I'm not guilty of any crime. I know that they can't satisfy the world. Because this is my power, you see. A few very vindictive people inside of the system want me in jail badly. They've created this huge scandal. They need to put me in jail for their careers. You know, it will look bad if they don't. I've never done anything illegal. I've never human trafficked anyone. So they don't just have to somehow satisfy a court, a judge. And my judges keep making great decisions, the correct decisions. They don't just somehow have to satisfy a judge to put me in jail. Millions of you out there watching me and supporting me also will have to see the evidence that puts me in jail. I told you, the BBC leaked it. In a WhatsApp chat, I called my ex-girlfriend a slave as a joke once. 10 years in jail for human trafficking? I don't know. I don't know what the evidence is. I told a girl 6 p.m. is the best time for engagement to post on TikTok. Yeah, I assist everyone I know in social media because I'm a social media giant. Is that the evidence? I mean, this is human trafficking we're talking about. You people are going to want to see handcuffs, basements, dungeons, girls, victims, crying, complaining, making statements that they were hurt, forced to do something. I don't know what they're going to do. Killing me, let's hope not. I've got kids, man. I don't need that shit. But I always sleep with one eye open. But they have to satisfy the entire world now. This was on the news in South Korea, Brazil, Australia, the United States. Maybe they didn't know how big it was going to get. Maybe they thought the bigger it got, the more people would come out to speak against me. I mean, I was in jail for 3 months. How many people came forward to give them evidence that I'm a criminal? 0. Because I'm not a criminal. So they've got to satisfy the entire world that I've done these things. They've told the world I'm this great criminal. Now they have to prove it. And they're desperate, and desperate people are very scary. Desperate people are very, very scary. So I don't know what they're going to do next. But they certainly won't be able to satisfy you, my loyal viewers and friends, that I've ever human trafficked anyone, because that doesn't make any fucking sense. Almost a billionaire, women like me, yeah, let's kidnap someone. Stupid. Right, enough on that, because I'll start ranting. I don't want to start ranting. I want to talk a little bit, because I have a very big Muslim following, and I'm aware of that, and I'm sensitive to it. And over the last few months, a podcast was recently released. I had some very high-profile guys here at my house from the Middle East. They're very impressed at my knowledge of Islam and what I know about Islam. My friends who are Muslim, who are watching this, I would like to talk a little bit about haram policing. I like the idea that if somebody makes a mistake, if somebody is new to something and they make a mistake, that they get corrected. I like the idea that if I am learning Arabic and I say something wrong in Arabic, a respectful friend of mine will tell me I've made the mistake and help me to rectify my mistake. I like that people like Faris Al-Hamadi, who I follow on Twitter and interact with a lot, when I am wrong about something in the Quran or something in Islam, or my brother is wrong about something in Islam, I like that he respectfully will tell us, correct us, and help guide us to understand where we have our misconception from, and that we do in fact have a misconception. Keep in mind, I'm still a Christian. But here's what I don't like. And I'm not talking to my Muslim fans or my Muslim friends here. I'm talking more to the Muslim trolls who follow me and wait for a slip up. I once typed perfectly respectfully about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. I even put PBUH afterwards, but autocorrect had switched prophet to prospect. So it said the prospect Muhammad, peace be upon him, in my post. And the post had been there for an hour and a half, and I couldn't edit it, but it was an autocorrect mistake on the keyboard. And these people are watching with a microscope for any slip up. Tristan's disrespecting his brother's religion. Tristan, you should delete that tweet. Tristan, I'm like, look, it's a good tweet. It's got interaction now. People have seen it. I'm leaving it there. I see the typo. Apple accidentally, I must have made the spelling mistake, and Apple changed it to prospect. The tweet's still there. I got so much harassment over that. I still left it up. I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Haram policing and trolling people is never the way to earn respect and to earn friendship and fans. I'm a friend of the Muslims. I'm a Christian. My brother's a Muslim. I have lots of Muslim friends. Hounding me over Apple correcting my word is stupid. Don't do it. There are better ways to conduct yourself. There really are. Famous example, I can't remember exactly what it was. Somebody who my brother knows posted some pro-Israel stuff many years ago when the situation was slightly less developed. And he's like, Andrew knows this guy. Andrew knows this guy. He needs to disavow this guy. I'm like, whoa. Andrew is a 36-year-old man who knows potentially 5,000 plus people. He has interacted and met 25,000 plus people over his very long and very eclectic lifespan. I agree. Andrew no longer does haram things. Doesn't eat pork, doesn't touch alcohol, doesn't do any of the stuff he used to do. But knowing somebody who once said X, I'll get you with that, haram police. If I knew who you really were, I'd find someone you know who once said something that isn't particularly kind to the Palestinians. And I'll go nuts at you. I guarantee you know someone who once said something you don't like very much. Get over it. My friends say things I don't like to this day. Yesterday, I was disagreeing with my own friend in my own house because that's how men conduct themselves. What, everyone has to be a carbon copy clone of you? No. Don't police to that level. Be like Faris Al-Hamadi. Be respectful and bring things up when they're relevant. Don't start making issues where they don't exist. Andrew knows this guy, and this guy knows this guy, and this guy once said... That has nothing to do with Andrew and his convictions and his beliefs. So, haram policing, chill out with it a little bit. I hope I was respectful enough in my speech to all of my Muslim friends and supporters out there who I think will probably agree with me. Hey, Tristan. This is a question that came in from X. I really liked it. I make money from the real world. I spend it all on my wife and son. Back to zero every time. No matter how much extra income I make, I keep spending on my wife and son to see them happy. I don't invest it. I don't build it. I don't stockpile it. Should I stop? And if so, how? Why would you stop? My friend, you're lucky enough to have a wife and a son. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. If my university, the real world, is making you a bunch of extra money and a bunch of extra income, what I would say to you is, if you want to use that income to, you're not gambling it, you're not drinking it away, you're not flushing it down the toilet, you're using it to buy happiness in your wife and son, good. Then do that for the rest of your life and cherish all the smiles on their face, because those two people are the only two people in life who really matter. Well, you want to impress someone like me, build up a stockpile, get a portfolio and blah, blah, blah. You really want to do that? Then do it if it's going to make you happy and your wife happy and your son happy. But I'm telling you, if you are addicted, that's a good addiction to have. If you're addicted to spending money on them, to see them smile, to see them happy, then that's a wonderful addiction to have. It really is. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As long as I assume that you're happily married, and I assume that your wife goes out of her way to see you smile, to see you happy, to support you too, then by all means, spend all the money on her if you like. Nothing wrong with spending money on the mother of your kids. Absolutely nothing wrong, as long as she gives you exactly the same support and love back. Otherwise, if it's one-sided, don't do it. But no, you sound like a very happy man. It was a very reasonable question. Don't do anything to try to impress me. You don't have to be any richer than you are. Bro, you got a wife and son. You're richer than most people on the planet. I'd rather be you than a 65-year-old billionaire with no kids. Absolutely would. I absolutely would. Well done to you, sir. Keep it up. Reading through the super chats. Guys, all the super chats. Hey, man, you changed my life. There's about 400 of those. I appreciate them every single time. Thank you very much. What do you think about guys impersonating you on social media? This potentially damages your reputation. Would be good if you guys talk about that to make people more aware. Yeah, lots of people run fan accounts of mine, and I support them and I like them. It keeps my presence on the internet very strong. I have no problem with anybody respectfully running a fan account of me, posting tweets and posts and quotes that I have actually said, posting photos that I've actually taken, and opinions that I actually hold. I think it's very important to me, actually. In the midst of cancellation, I have people who care about me as much and care about my message so much that they're willing to work, essentially, and put themselves out there running these social media pages. I think it's beautiful. What I will say is this, though, young men and women of the world. If something seems too good to be true, it is. If this podcast is ripped and posted again on YouTube and the voice doesn't quite line up with the lips and it says at the bottom, send Bitcoin here, I'll double it and send it right back, that won't be real. And I feel like if you fall for that, do I want to call you an idiot? No, I won't quite call you an idiot. Maybe send $100, get scammed once. But if you send 10 grand to that address without testing it, thinking about it, yeah, if something's too good to be true, it usually is. So regardless of whether it's me, my brother, Elon, I don't know, Dana, Goggins, Joe Rogan, any of the people who put out what I see as overwhelmingly positive messages online, if something's too good to be true, it probably is. So just don't get scammed. Just don't get scammed. I like people impersonating me. It keeps my message out there. I love the fan accounts and the Twitter fan accounts and the Instagram fan accounts. I really do like them. I like the TikTok accounts. But yeah, if they're offering you something too good to be true, it's too good to be. There's no such thing as too good to be true. There's no such thing as a free lunch. So don't fall for scams no matter whose face is on them. Tristan, you keep hinting that a few people are responsible for your situation. Who is responsible for your situation? I'm not going to tell you yet. Maybe I won't tell you if it goes away. I don't know how this is going to end. I really don't. But I do know who is responsible for this. No, I'm not going to bring that up now. It's not worth discussing. Hi, Tristan. Why do you never come out and condemn single mothers? A lot of red pill coaches and red pill guys talk about never dating a single mother. Would you date a single mother? And what's wrong with them? This is more like the dating app question, more like one of the old questions I used to get. And I like these questions. One, don't refer to me as red pill. I know what the red pill community is. I agree with some aspects of the things that they say. When I first downloaded Twitter before it was X, people roped me in with the red pill community because the way I wrote and the way I spoke. I am Tristan Tate. I'm not red pill, blue pill, black pill, white pill. I'm Tristan Tate. And I have my own opinions and my own unique way of looking at things. And I don't necessarily subscribe to one particular tribe online, besides the Tate tribe, the War Room, Tate Pledge, and what we try to teach young men. The tenets of Tateism. Those are on cobratate.com. Go check them out. Why not date a single mother? Why not date a single mother? Now, I know these tough guys out there are very quick to talk badly about single mothers. But there are single mothers who are single because they're irresponsible. There are single mothers who are single because a tragedy happened in their life. There are single mothers who are single mothers because they were victims of something. You know, if a woman falls in love with a man with all of her heart and gives herself to a man, and that man ends up being an abusive, alcoholic, lowlife, deadbeat, piece of shit, who can't keep his hands off her in a bad way, beats his kid, and she runs away, starts again from scratch. She's still beautiful. She's still exactly the same character who she was. Body count of 1. And she has this child who she's doing her best to take care of. She hasn't got all the money in the world, and you're a relatively successful guy and you really like her. I don't think the kid is your responsibility. I'm not saying move in and play dad. I'm saying to just throw her. Nope, single mother. Nope, she's garbage. She's trash. I haven't dated a single mother myself, but I don't like that. I don't like that notion of tarring everybody with the same brush. Whereas people will gladly date, you know, girls, models who have body counts of 100 and no kids because they're good girls. But the tragic single mother story I just told you, she was a bad girl. No, I think that's very, very stupid. Even within my own family, let me say, my mother is happily married. I know she's much older. She's happily married to a wonderful man. And she got divorced from my father. Financial circumstances were very hard. We lived a very difficult life. She was raising 3 kids on her own. And she met this man who already had kids of his own. And they fell in love and they're married happily to this day. I'm not going to say his name online, but he's a wonderful guy. I'm glad she's met him. What if he was brainwashed by these dudes? Whereas, I mean, he must have been 50 at the time. It was a while back. What if he thought, I can't take single mothers? It's very immature and very stupid. I'm not advising you to go out and date single mothers. I'm not saying to do it. I'm saying tarring everybody with the same brush and discrediting everybody based on circumstances that could largely be out of their control is wrong. Sure, she might just be an irresponsible loser. She might be. Who was sleeping around with gang members, thinking she's cool and pumped out a bunch of kids. That might be the case. But she also, you know, human life and the lives that we live are complicated, and they're sometimes dark and they're sometimes difficult, and people go through a lot. I've been through a lot myself. I certainly carry a degree of emotional baggage myself. Yeah. I think if you're striving for the perfect ideal of a woman, I wouldn't necessarily look for a single mother. But no, don't tar everyone with the same brush and stop being out there hating on women, you know? Some women have been through a lot. Some women are really good girls. You know, the guy they were with was a piece of shit and that's why they're a single mother. Don't be that guy. I don't know. Be nice. Be nice, and you never know what people have been through. Ukraine have banned the Orthodoxy in the Orthodox Church. Now, everyone knows my views on the Ukraine-Russia conflict. I'm very sad for every Ukrainian man who dies. I'm very sad for every Ukrainian family who loses a man in this pointless conflict. It's a very sad situation. It's horrible for Russians and Ukrainians alike. But everybody knows my arguments on it. Everybody knows that I do not like the government of Ukraine. Everybody knows that I do not see this as an invasion. You know, my Ukrainian friends, I apologize, but you know, that's the conclusion I have come to after researching this conflict, living next door to this conflict, speaking with refugees from this conflict. The conclusion that I came to is certainly that Vladimir Putin was stepping in to stop the genocide, essentially, of ethnic Russian people within the borders of Ukraine that was happening since 2014. That's my perspective. But that aside, if you disagree with me and you love the Ukrainian government, you think Zelensky is Winston Churchill, he's a hero, Zelensky's wonderful, Zelensky's great. If you believe that, he has just banned the religion that represents the majority of the Ukrainian people, the Orthodox Church. Why? Because they have ties to Russia. Banning churches and banning a religion is never a good thing. Never a good thing. I don't care if you hate Russia and love Zelensky. That is not okay. You cannot do that. Vladimir Putin governs a country that is very diverse in terms of religious diasporas. Chechnya is very Muslim. Vladivostok, very Christian. There are Catholics and Orthodox people all within that country, and he has never even thought of banning a church or banning a religion. Yeah, so that's very bad. That's very bad. I don't know what's going to happen there. I feel like with the attention turned off of this, I was reading about mass surrenders 2 weeks ago, just before the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel. I was reading about mass surrenders of Ukrainian troops. I'm a member of a bunch of Telegram groups that freely distribute this material. Ukrainians literally getting American weapons and going to surrender en masse because they don't want to die for nothing, and they don't want to die at the hands of the Russians for anyone's ego. And when the mass surrendering started, suddenly there's a new war. Man, the world is fucking scary. And I don't know why things happen this way, and I wish they didn't work out this way. But I feel like the only U.S. president we've seen peacetime in has been Donald J. Trump. And that's certainly who I still endorse for president in 2024. I feel like Donald J. Trump, it's now bigger than Make America Great Again. I feel like it's, make the world peaceful again, help people sleep at night, make the Middle East sane again. I don't know. It's bigger than just making America great again. I feel like the world needs him because he can't be bought. He can't be sold. He's not the perfect man. He says some stupid things. He has said some stupid things. So have I. He's lived a very long and diverse life. But I feel like the world needs Donald Trump more than ever to become the president of the United States. So everyone knows I officially endorse him, despite my brother's ex bio. Everyone knows that satire, I hope. And that's one of the reasons they want to put me in jail too, because I will be encouraging young men to vote for him in 2024. I feel like the American government knew I was in jail unjustly here, and they did nothing. They did nothing to get me out. Nothing. I'm an American citizen, an American passport holder. They left me to rot in a Romanian prison for 92 days. Why? Because I'm on the wrong side. I'm on the wrong team. So yeah, I think that's very sick. I will never visit America again unless Donald J. Trump becomes the president. A few more super chats. War Room membership is annual. It's not a one-time fee. To answer your super chat, Draven J. No more super chats coming in. I'm not one of these streamers. There's lots of streamers in the world. Streamers. They get online and they talk shit or play stupid games, and I just can't do that. I give you my opinions on what's happening in the day, this week, in this current time period. You can agree with me or disagree with me. I look forward to the debates and arguments that we have on X after this platform. I look forward to seeing my clips cut up and posted out there so people know what I think on all the things that are happening. I guess I'll finish with a question. Dracula's castle, am I building it? For those of you who don't know, I have purchased the land behind Dracula's castle in Bran, and I planned to build a new castle here in Romania. It would be the first castle that was built here since 1919. I was very proud to live here. I was very proud to call this country my home. I was going to build this castle for myself and my own personal use, but also because I knew it would be a monument in this country for 1,000+ years to come. It would be a very great building that people could, visit one day. I feel like this country is on the up and up. But also, I have essentially been betrayed by people who hold some amount of influence and power here, let's just say. And no, to spend $20 million building a monument to the greatest story and myth and legend in this country that people could visit for hundreds of years to come after my death, I don't feel I owe Romania that anymore. This is still my home. I'm still very much connected to this country. But in a world where I do, in fact, sleep with one eye open now, in a world where every asset I buy now, whether it be a new watch or a new lighter or a new debit card, I'm scared of the police kicking in my door and stealing it from me again. I mean, the police still hold lots of cash and things that they stole from me in April 2022. We're now in October 2023. They have properties, land. I think that land I was going to build the castle on is actually temporarily not stolen, sequestered. I hope I get it all back, but no, I'm not going to invest that level of money here while that risk still exists. If this ends in a pleasant way, if this ends in a way that I believe has dealt justice to the people responsible for this, if this ends in a way where the world knows exactly what happened and I'm given assurances of safety here, I may reconsider the Dracula Castle project. But until then, I'm not sinking that kind of money. I'm just not going to do it. I'd rather invest $25 million in Saudi Arabia, where I know I'm safe. Why wouldn't I? They're building some wonderful buildings out there. I don't need a castle. I think I'm going to leave it there, gentlemen. I was going to talk about the dangers of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. I was going to talk about where to send your kids to school, if homeschooling is a good option, the climate scam. But, yeah, not much of a mojo tonight. Not much of a mojo. 13,500 people watching me. I super appreciate everybody coming in and listening to me talk, as always. I love all my fans. I love all the support I get. All the stories of your success, even if I just read them, even if I don't reply, and I see you've turned your life around because of things that I've said or things that I've done or things I've inspired you to do. That's what makes all of this worth it. I feel like as long as I am on the side of truth, as long as I am against a lot of the toxic agendas that exist out there in the world, I'm always going to be under attack. I don't know what the next criminal charges are going to be or for what or from which country. Romania is not responsible for this. I would say that, keep sending me your success stories. They make me happy. They make everything I go through worth it. God bless all of you and have a wonderful evening. Happy smoking.